on Monday, but tomorrow night at 6:30 on the weekend, Houston Life, we are airing a fall real estate special to take you inside of some of the fanciest homes in the city, including one home that's 26,000 square feet with 3 kitchens and 2 elevators. You could literally live there and never see anybody in your family.
I mean, how can you live with only 3 kitchens?
I don't know.
That sounds horrible.
Slumming.
Kidding. Buying your first home is one of the biggest financial investments you will ever make, of course. And while budgets can vary, Houston offers some of the most luxurious homes to choose from, including properties that reach nearly $30 million.
Well, here to give us a sneak peek into that show, plus a few tips on how to get ready to sell or even buy a home, is Mark Menendez, president at Brokerage for Douglas Elliman Texas. Great to see you, Mark. Thanks for joining us, and welcome to Houston Life.
Thanks for having me, guys. Good to see you.
This is a really exciting time, and I think everybody loves to see the big homes and get a look inside of those, the sort of, the obtainable ones. But we can get some really great ideas from these types of homes.
Yes, correct. I think what you're seeing is a lot of the architects and a lot of designers take advantage of all that space, and they're really able to play with and incorporate a lot of new ideas. And we've seen some pretty cool floor plans and designs come out of that.
And Mark, I feel like buying a home is one of those things that until you actually buy a home, it's sort of a mystifying process, right? But then once you do it, you realize, okay, I can do this. You recommend that before someone sets out to buy a home, they assemble their team, a solid, strong team. Describe to us what that team should consist of.
Sure. So you want a team of professionals behind you. And I think the first and most important is your real estate agent. You want somebody with a lot of experience and somebody that you trust to be an advisor and sort of coach you through the process. Next is you want your mortgage broker with you, because they're going to really identify what your buying power is and how to apply that to the purchase. It's also going to be part of your negotiation. And then finally is your accountant or your financial planner. And they're really important because they're going to be able to forecast what your cost or what your expenditure is every month and how much it's going to cost you at the end of the life cycle to purchase the property. So those 3 people really make up the core group, and I think that's really important.
And then the next step when you're looking to buy a home, once you have that group alongside of you, of course you want to identify your location, look at the zip code where you want to be. But I think during this time, during COVID, and we're working from home, floor plan, really understanding what you want in a new home.
Correct. Floor plan becomes very important because as you start to understand what your lifestyle is going to be like, what room are you going to really spend most of your time in? And, if you're having family gatherings or entertaining, the floor plan is really going to be essential in dictating how you live in that space. So really paying attention to how the room flow works, the dimensions of the room, and how the house is laid out becomes very important.
So it seems like the magical word, Mr. Mark Menendez, is location. We've heard this from a long time ago. Location, location, location. And this is important to determine not just the value, but also the viability, and give you the chance to sort of compare and contrast with other homes that are on the market.
Yes. So location, 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 right? You hear that all the time in real estate, as you said. But I think location is probably one of the most important things because it's something that you can't really negotiate or move. So when you pick a place and you decide that that's where you're going to live, it has to be has to fit with what you're really looking for, because it's something that you can't change later on. And I think that's one of the most important things. Then looking at the data, something we talk about a lot is data research and information, understanding the numbers and the dynamics of a neighborhood that you're looking at, which comes into comparables. So recently sold, which is something that a appraiser would look at. Real estate agents also use that as a key tool. Active listings, which really represents the competition in the marketplace. So if you're looking at one specific place, how does it compare to other available properties in the neighborhood? Will give you a sense of value of how you're looking at the property in question. I think those are pretty much the most important things.
Absolutely, and those were points for buying a home. What if you're in the market and you're looking to sell your home? What are some of the bullet points we should look at?
Yeah, so again, first most important thing is hire a really good real estate agent. They should be experienced and they should have a lot of knowledge of the areas that you're looking in. And then, of course, after a certain amount of time with you, they'll understand what kind of characteristics and things that are really important to the individual. Again, reviewing market data, going into the comparables, the activity, active market listings, and then, of course, appreciation rates, also all very important. Curb appeal. When you're looking at a property, what does it look like to you? How does it appeal to you? Does it look polished? Does it look finished? Has it been taken care of? The maintenance of a property really is important to observe for the buyer. So as a seller, you want to make sure that your house is really in its best and highest condition. You know, I like to say El Decor magazine status, you know, so it's really looking its best. And then staging. Staging is also something that's become very important in selling a house. If it's empty, making sure that you have furniture so that when a buyer walks into the home, they can see the scale of a room and they can start to imagine what their furniture is going to look like and start to identify with the property is very important. But if you have somebody that's actually living in the house, then it's always a good idea to declutter and depersonalize the house. When a buyer walks into your home that's for sale, you want them to have the experience of imagining themselves in the space. And if they're looking around and it's cluttered with your own personal stuff and a lot of your pictures, it's hard for them to have that experience. So that's essential as well. And then when you're selling, again, you know, a lot of people don't think about this, but trying to identify what your next move is going to be. So if somebody comes into the house today and says that they really want it, you should be prepared knowing what your next move is going to be, because obviously you want to know where you're going, but it also allows for you to be much more flexible in the negotiations. So that's really important. I would say those are the 5 that I would look at.
Okay, it's great advice. We're going to go home and hide those pictures of Aunts Barbara and Betty. We like them, but a potential buyer might not. Mark Menendez with Douglas Elliman, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.